I have been given the task to tell you anthropology careers and tribal research institutes. So my role is very limited, but focused. You know, Tribal Research Institute, I believe Ananya, it is Ananya, I believe. Ananya told that this is the oldest tribal research institute. Yes. It was set up in 1952. Now it is not the single tribal research institute of the country. There are 27 such tribal research institutes. The very purpose as to why tribal research institutes were thought of after India's independence was, if you really look at the document, you'll find that somewhere between the lines, it meant anthropologists to be handling the key positions in Tribal Research Institute. Because, as you know, even today, you do not have disaggregated data on tribals. As a result of which, whenever any planning is done, the planning is not becoming appropriate planning. We are spending money, we are doing a plan without knowing what are the gaps existing, where the where the soup pinches. We do not. Though tribal research institutes were set up in 1952, then 1953 and onwards, and now you find 27 TRIs. And there are also 36 Center of Excellences under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs who are doing anthropological work where they have to collaborate with anthropologists. Otherwise, they cannot reach out to the tribals. They cannot know about the, crux of the problem that the tribals are confronted with. So when tribal research institutes were constituted, it was basically thought that these will work as think tanks and provide important inputs for the government, respective state governments, so that taking the input, they will prepare appropriate plans and programs. But if you look back, I must tell you, till about late 1990s, these tribal research institutes, somehow or the other, were not having anthropologists. Hardly you will find, TRIs with anthropology faculty personnel there. You will find from all disciplines other than anthropology. Let me tell you, when I came into the scene in 2005, I have been in TRI for about 17 years. I'm a retired person, but then the state government, maybe to look into your interests, anthropology, anthropology students' interest, I have been still there and heading the institute. And in fact, coordinating all the 27 TRIs of the country. I fought. I had the advantage. I belong to anthropology background. I'll tell you, friends, don't worry. What exactly opportunities are available and how you will equip yourself, I'll tell you. But then I'm bringing you into the spirit so that, you'll try to catch it. I was a professor, and then, I went into Indian Administrative Service. And luckily, from 2005-06 onwards, both during, Planning Commission regime and during Niti Aayog, I have been taken as one of the core committee members for tribal development in the working group. So that helped me to sharpen the document of TRIs, which became a policy document. For past, 6 to 7 years, I have tried to, bring in the guideline in such a manner so that anthropology persons will be preferred in a TRI. Right now, we have 9 TRIs out of 27, which are new. And I have just taken over as the national advisor for the National Tribal Research Institute, where I'm trying to provide opportunities for, good entries into the TRIs, where anthropology is going to play a major role. But that doesn't mean that anthropology is the only discipline from where employees will be picked up. No. There is sociology, there is social work, tribal studies, economics and statistics. Then how anthropologists will fit in? We have put in the scheme of things in such a manner that anybody who has done work on tribal people on certain sectors and will have evidence that they have worked with the tribals. Working for the tribals and working with the tribals are two different things. These days, what I find in most of the universities where anthropology is there, they are sending the children to do their project work either to a slum or to a nearby urban area or to a hospital if it is a medical anthropology kind of a report. I mean a dissertation, but they are not going to the core issues of the tribals. During our time, when we were taught by persons like Professor L.K. Mahapatra, N.K. Behura, and the team, and we were examined by persons like Surajit Sinha, Professor B.K. Raybarman, even at graduation level, forget about postgraduate, MA, MPhil, and PhD. That rigor of doing the field work for 2 months in a year, 1 month in the 5th year, 1 month in the 2nd year, is found to be lacking. So one has to orient himself and put evidences that he has done work amongst the tribals with a rigor of field work. I'll come to that next, how you'll equip yourself. But I'm telling you, what are the opportunities there in the TRIs? Friends, again, I have a meeting at 7 o'clock with the Secretary and Joint Secretary of the Ministry, where we'll be discussing as to how to revamp the TRIs, okay? When we say revamping the TRI, rest assured, I will be fighting, and I'm fighting for the anthropology background people. Your Sunita Reddy also, has been appreciated the other day when she made a presentation before the ministry in a national webinar. It is because of our commitment, and you should have commitment. We have, positions, what kind of positions a TRI offers or promises for an anthropology student. The first, the entry point, I'll tell you, are research assistants and assistant director research. These are the two positions which are at entry level. And earlier, only IAS officers or professors were coming to head the TRIs. But right now, in the new guideline, which has gone to cabinet for approval, we have kept provision that, from among the existing staff of the TRIs, one will become a director, provided he has this, that qualification, of which anthropology has been put as one of the preconditions. So, which means if you get an entry, good job. We have put, these many publications you should have to, get elevated to the position of deputy director, not by completing 8 years of service. No, you should have this many books in, impact factor, articles in impact factor journals or books with, ISBN number. So then only you will qualify yourself to go up. Even we have put also in the position of assistant director, which is a class 2 and probably it is going to be class 1 very soon. you should have at least 2 publications in impact factor journals. Just by doing MA, MPhil or getting enrolled for PhD is not going to help you. Even PhD also you might have got, but it's not going to help you. You must have 2 at least research articles, published in impact factor journal, a peer-reviewed journal. What are the other things, the TRI promises? So if you see, now all the 27 TRIs are going to be restructured and for its revamping. And we are now trying to do a minimum staffing pattern, where I'm sure at least 2 to 3 anthropology, students will get opportunity of getting job either at assistant director level or at research scholar level. There is also a possibility of getting even more people getting an entry, provided you make yourself employable. You go to a market, you find tomato, you find brinjal. Do you think wherever you get brinjal, wherever you get tomato, you purchase? No. The best ones you choose, whichever is the best you pick up. Just like that, there may be several anthropology students, there may be several non-anthropology applicants, but one who has prepared himself or herself and becomes more marketable, becomes better than his or her competitors. When I say better, not better only in terms of speaking, the record must speak for itself. You should have articles, you should have some supporting, I'll tell you what is that supporting, additives which will make you more, what should I say, more employable and more chances of getting it. This time I'm telling you, I was in the selection committee. We had to select 8 assistant directors. My heart always says that, I will pick up anthropology, student. But at times, anthropology students disappoint you. That's not a general statement, sweeping statement I'm giving. And when I see that, I go back to the university and, talk to the professors, make the students sit, and, tell the teachers that you must do like this, do like that. Some follow, some do not follow, I don't mind. You see, we are getting large number of research projects. Don't think that on day 1, you'll get a permanent post, you'll get a seat, and you'll work like a babu. Forget that. You have to go through rigor. I have started my career as a research investigator. Can you imagine? I didn't start my career as a assistant professor. That time it was lecturer. No, I started my job as a research investigator. Of course, before passing out masters, I had worked for 4 months as a research investigator. So why I said so? A number of research projects we are getting. When we are saying research projects, the research projects could be policy research, the research could be evaluation research, the policy could be, the research could be, a baseline survey, it could be an environmental impact assessment, it could be a monographic study, and it could also be, right now, we have got the mandate of preparing Tribal Vision Document 2047. You see, only 2 days back, I have given the concept note, which is under review. In such a project, if we get, or if somebody gets, it will be a 3-year project. I think anthropology students are the most required persons if they just try to equip themselves properly. What is that equipping? I'll tell you. So number of research projects are coming. what is happening, Sunita, these days, these TRIs are getting projects. We have a lot of money with the ministry. The TRIs are not in a position to conceptualize what kind of a research project they will give. It is because they don't have the right kind of manpower. What they are doing, they are asking the UNDP people, or they are asking some other agencies, please help us out. We have got this project, take it and give us a report. In the process, what is happening, the study, I must tell you, it may be a glossy report, but the touch of anthropology is found to be grossly missing. I remember my professor L.K. Mahapatra, when I was doing my PhD, had thrown the thesis before submission on me, saying that, you are writing, what he said, you are writing, report like, a newspaper editor. This is hocus pocus, write anthropological things. And he had taught me what anthropological thing is all about. If today, I know of something, it is only because of him. So there are a number of research projects where you can get ample of opportunity. You may think that research project will give very peanut. No, it doesn't give you peanut business. It can give you decent amount of money, up to 75,000, up to 1 lakh also we pay. Of course, depending on the quality that you possess and the deliverables that you can promise us to give. So if you look at the entire, 27 TRIs of the country, every year it must be generating 200 manpower requirement. And if anthropology students are little better equipped, which I will suggest you what you should do, which Anthropos India Foundation is also trying to do, and will be collaborating. I have 2-3 things in mind. We'll be discussing next week when I become a little free with Sunita. We'll also be opening opportunities for you to undergo that course. How to evolve it, I have thought of, but I will finalize after talking to Anthropos India. So assistant director, research assistant, and lot of scope for research assistant, research investigator, research associate, consultant, national level consultant. It goes like that. Even we can pay up to 1.25 lakhs if it is a national level consultant we have chosen. I never look at the age. I always look at the competence. And that is also going to be the guideline. You see, tribal museums you must be knowing. Now what has happened, in each state, wherever there is a TRI, a tribal museum is coming up, which is becoming an integral part of the tribal research institutes. Either it is in state or it is in union territory. If you really see, now only 8 or 9 small tribal museums have come up. Odisha has a very, very outstanding museum we have done, which is of international standards. So now ministry says that we are prepared to invest money, but good museums should come up, prepare a framework. So I think that framework, I saw, Charusmita, Professor Charusmita, to be a panelist today, I think in the first session or second session. I'm trying to, make a group, expert group, where Charusmita madam as an anthropologist and a museum expert will also be taken in. And a couple of others like, Kishore Basa, my own brother, S.B. Ota, who was IGRMS director earlier, Kamal this, few people, who are really experts will be Kalyan Chakrabarti. All of them will be taken in and will be preparing. While we'll be preparing, this museum restructuring, revamping, we will keep anthropology as one of the basics, but a certificate course or a diploma course or at least a training program on museum management and museum, how museum, curation is done, we will look for. So friends, that will create a lot of employment opportunities. People do not know from other disciplines if you are in anthropology, and if such a kind of training program we develop where some of you can, take the training, we'll make it free of cost. Whenever we'll do something, we'll not charge you anything. I think we can do that. I have little funds for that. I have already thought of the things, but I have not completely framed out. It will be a month-long, training program, which we'll be thinking how to take it forward. Because by the time this job employment opportunities for the museum comes, it will take good 1.5 years. I think you should prepare yourself. What is the other opportunity? When our Honorable Prime Minister became the second time Prime Minister, I think, 2016, in the first phase, in 2016, August 15th, he announced that there will be Tribal Freedom Fighters Museum. Apart from these museums, these are tribal museums. So now 10 Tribal Freedom Fighters Museum in 10 tribal dominated states are coming up. The one which was in the name of Bhagwan, Birsa Munda, was inaugurated 2 months back, and all the other things are coming up. They all have been given time. By 2023 March, these museums will be in place. These museums are not miniature museums. These are institutions, big institutions, where we are trying to keep young professionals. It is done in the same, brand as I have done in my museum. They have taken it. Young professionals from anthropology, from museology. But if you have a training certificate with you, if you have a diploma or a certificate course with you on museology and museum management, you will be in an advantageous position vis-a-vis others. There will be assistant curators, there will be curator position in each museum. So friends, this is also gives you an opportunity. What else? TRIs are not expected to work in isolation. We have collaborations. For example, I am giving you my TRIs. What other TRIs are doing and what other TRIs must be doing, I think we'll come to know in a month's time from now, because I'll be involved in them. We are collaborating with Regional Medical Research Center. Okay. We are doing a state tribal health survey of each tribal community to get disaggregated data in the same template that NFHS does. But NFHS doesn't have tribe-specific, information with them. We are making the sample size big, and we are doing it. I have put 50% of the enumerators personnel. I insisted with, the director of RMRC. We have put anthropology students. Before I brought the project, I told them that you try to, learn SPSS package. Try to learn, statistical methods as to how to quantify data, how to use a tablet for putting, filling the schedules in an app. All those small little things I had told them. So when I pushed their cases, the director became happy and said that give me more, because they were from other disciplines. But this kind of tips was not given to them. So here is also opportunity. Through TRIs, you may say that you are not speaking about TRI. Yes, this is TRI. This is a TRI project, collaborative project. They are the collaborators. We have collaborations, TRIs have collaborations with Mineral Development Fund. I believe you must be knowing about Mineral Development Fund. Each tribal district of the country has rich mineral reserves. And there is substantial amount, hundreds of crores of rupees given to these mineral development funds in each district, where they try to invest on research, on documentation of tribal culture, and also surveys to identify their felt needs and critical gaps to be filled. And they also create a number of positions. My TRI I am talking about, we are in collaboration with them for a period of 5 years. We have done an MOU. We are getting 3 crores every year. What are we doing? We are looking for manpower. When we are saying manpower, me being at least the head of the TRI, luckily or unluckily from anthropology, I will definitely find out some ways or other to push as much. But you should allow us to get picked up, for which you have to orient yourself. That is what, somewhere, Sunita madam was also talking something towards the end, which I heard. I chipped in only 3-4 minutes before. So you have to equip yourself. We have OMC, Odisha Mining Corporation. We have a tie-up for 10 years. I don't believe in 1 year, 6 months, 10 years. We are only into the 3rd year. I am tomorrow out, but that fund continues. We are getting 2.5 crores and every year 10% increase over a period of 10 years. That's a huge money. We would like to utilize that money. How we'll utilize? We'll utilize through quality manpower. How to get quality manpower? If you look at your degree, course curriculum, you are the most proficient one, but that's not the scene. You have to equip yourself more by doing publication, by undergoing training. And the most important thing is that internship. I have been shouting at the universities, literally begging to the university that give me every year at least 3-4 interns, so that they can do their, dissertation work, maybe at MA level, 5th year level, 6th year level, or MPhil, PhD, everything. But to tell you, universities, departments from outside the state, outside the country are sending interns, but hardly anthropology students from Odisha are coming. After the young lot are heading the department now, things are getting changed. So what I would suggest, even I would request, Sunita. Sunita is a very forward-looking, professor. I compliment her all the time. Send at least 1 or 2 students from your institution, whom I will provide, accommodation, will provide support. They will spend, good 1 or 2 months' time. You have summer vacations. Send during summer vacations. They will work on a project. They will learn under the guidance of, experienced person. You can also guide them from there. will give a certificate. That's going to help them a lot. And a report. I'm talking about my son. My son, who did his graduation in anthropology, preferred not to study anthropology further because of obvious reasons. Me being a stumbling block. So he did his management. What I did when he was doing his graduation, I had sent him to Tata Steel, Kalinganagar, where there was a lot of resettlement rehabilitation problem, where 9 tribals were shot dead. He did his dissertation. So Tata Steel people gave him, a certificate, and also supported him to publish the book by the time he did his MBA. Okay. When he was doing his MBA in his first year, I connected him to Aditya Birla Group to do another field work and a report. Believe it or not, when he applied for Vedanta in 2013 or 14, I don't remember, these 2 certificates helped him a lot to get a good position. And my son has not done his postgraduate in anthropology, but he is used by a very big international consultancy agency as their anthropology or tribal domain resource. If he could do it, why can't you do it? At least you start with the TRI. If you are in Delhi, you'd like to get connected with some other TRIs other than my TRI, I can also help you out. Give your choices. This year, I would expect, Sunita, we will try to get connected with the children, with various heads of the department of various universities where anthropology is taught, and we'll identify at least 25 interns whom we'll distribute in various TRIs and get them connected with a project. Let them work. I have seen how intensive happens. The letter is given. After 2 months, the certificate is given. We will not do the donkey's job. We will try to really train them, and we'll try to make them work. Make them work to get the certificate. I tell you, if 25 people are taken as intern every year, I think 25 jobs can be ensured. It is such a kind of correlation that happens. Friends, in brief, I can tell you that these are the job opportunities in the TRIs right now and for years to come. And your TRI brand of working as an intern, not everybody can work as an intern here. As an intern, will give you a passport kind of a thing. So this is what TRI promises, and TRI can give you job opportunities and can also provide you lead to take up a job somewhere else. Apart from that, TRIs are conducting a number of capacity building training programs. When I say capacity building training program, yes, it does provide capacity building training program to various kinds of stakeholders who are working in the field of tribal development. But we are also having a platform for tribal talent pool. Tribal talent pool is something where it is more or less focused towards the tribal children, okay, who are doing their research in the field of tribal. We are now putting something, either it could be a tribal child engaged in the field of tribal development or interested or doing research in the field of tribal development, and also non-tribals minimum number of cases, which will be a mixed group, so that they can also be seen as talents working for tribal development. Tribals working for tribals and non-tribals working for tribal development. That kind of a pool we are also in the process of making. It has already been tried, but now we'll expand it further. So how you will equip yourself apart from things which I have said? Friends, statistical packages, please, for heaven's sake, take training. And taking training and forgetting, because getting trained is not end of the story. Unlearning is faster than learning. If you are taking a SPSS program or some kind of quantification using statistical methods, even qualitative data these days are also getting quantified. I was using 20 years back fuzzy set theory. Now so many theories which is much beyond my knowledge have come up. So try to undergo that, and nobody better than Sunita to advise you. Do your studies, do your research at the same time. Do this. UGC says that while somebody does a graduation, he should have something else in his kitty by the time he comes out of the college or university. So this is quite possible. Do it. And research method, that is a very, very critical gap these days I find in anthropology students particularly. They are coming out, gold medal. I have seen gold medal, MPhil, PhD, everything. You cannot, find fault with them from that angle. But when you ask them that write a research proposal and say how will do sampling, how to choose your universe, how to do the sampling in this kind of a study, they fail miserably. They only know stratified random sampling. What is stratification also they do not know. What is random they do not know. Methodology is something, research method is something which is so very important. What is a priori hypothesis? What is a posteriori hypothesis? We have been taught by our good old teachers who are no more, and we know even today, coming into bureaucracy. So you people should be very, very thorough in research method. You must try to undergo special training programs where research methodology training is also provided. I was talking to Sunita. We have, a program for research method training. This will be for about, a month. We may pick from out of you, whom Sunita will pick up for the training program, which will be an online program. And we'll be giving a certificate on behalf of the Minister of Tribal Affairs, her institute, and my Tribal Research Institute. Maybe very shortly we'll have it. We were to have it in December, but because of the Corona surge, we couldn't do it. But only, getting nominated is not going to get you a certificate. There will be a rigorous screening and examination for that. You can also try elsewhere wherever research methodology is possible. Then museology, I have already told you. Museology and museum management, please try to equip yourself. There will be a lot of opportunities for getting job. And one thing, our internship, I have already told you. Sunita was telling you today about, what is that? Plagiarism. You see, these days you sit before your computer. I give you a topic tonight at 8 o'clock. By tomorrow morning, you will have a thesis prepared. That's not a big deal. But how difficult the plagiarism is, I'll tell you. I was undergoing the training course in Missouri after getting into Indian Administrative Service. We were 108 people in the batch. We were all given a specific topic, different topics, and we were asked to prepare a report in 4 days' time. That was a part of our examination. When we submitted, I had the plagiarism, a pluggy check, software, which I had borrowed from somebody. When, everybody submitted report, the minimum pluggy was 46%. Maybe I would have done that also. Because I had that software, I, managed. Wherever red came, I took it out. But because of pluggy, 16, trainees were detained for another 3 months to undergo training. And this is PhD, my dear. If you are doing PhD or MPhil, each examiner has got pluggy software. Forget, the university may allow. We have done pluggy check, Maro certificate. But the examiner will catch hold of you from your neck. And plagiarism is something which is an ethical issue. How to come over the plagiarism, how to check plagiarism also should be part of our research methodology course. Maybe 2 hours doesn't matter, we'll try to provide you. Then friends, when you were talking of TRIs, if at all you were thinking about a job in a tribal research institute, you must know about tribals. We have 705 tribal communities in the country. There are repetitions, Santal here, there, and there. But then, if you look at the presidential order, there are 705 communities, tribal communities in the state, in the country. They have been classified into various groups. Somebody will ask you, tell about Santals. Tell about what are the tribal revolts that has taken place. This is, 75th year of India's independence, Azadi Ki Amrit Mahotsav. Tell us some important tribal revolts and contributions of tribals. We are asking people. I was in the interview board 4 or 5 days back. I asked. So these are some of the preparedness. You must know about the tribals, about their overall culture, about their, indigenous knowledge and practices, and demography. Somebody will ask you, tribals are declining in number. Is it a fact? You should be prepared to answer somebody. What you should do, you should try to list out a number of probable questions. Whatever comes to your mind. Make a small, WhatsApp group and try to exchange, what can be questions. Let there be a question bank with answers. If you try and if you do a lot of churning, I think you will be experts. So that kind of preparedness is necessary. And readings. How many of you, I'm not going to ask you, my professor had told me that you must read 40 books before you pass out, postgraduate in anthropology. Starts with Argonauts of Western Pacific, Trowbridge and Islanders, so on and so forth. Golden Bough. I don't remember everything. I have become old. As you have become young, I have become old. But then I remember. Structural Anthropology by Levi-Strauss. I read 6-7 times to understand 10% of it. Friends, there are some books, 100 Years of Anthropology. Isn't it, Sunita? There are some books, I must tell, Sunita, even in your Anthropos India, you are quite knowledgeable, you are a touch bearer, but then I'll tell you, please list out about 40 books and keep the soft copy of those books in your website. And ask your students to read all those 40 books. They may not be in a position to consume everything. But then, giving a reading will help them so much. So friends, I'm telling you, you have to read. We used to read, a book. Now that book is probably out of circulation and even the library somebody has stolen. Fieldwork Tradition in Anthropology by Juncker. Read that book. It's a very small book of 140 pages or 50 pages. But if you read that book from page 1 to page 128, I tell you, you'll have sufficient knowledge about what the fieldwork tradition was there, how armchair anthropologists came, how empiricism came, all those participant observation, what is observer participant, everything you can know if you read that book. So few books are must read kind of a thing for each anthropologist to, shape themselves to be a marketable commodity. So another thing, you see, before a topic is, suppose you are given a MPhil thesis or PhD thesis, or even for that matter, MA dissertation to work. Your teacher is not, a very wise person, nor you are a wise person to straight go and start the work. You must have to do review of literature. And a review of literature is also a trick by itself. Unless you know its rhythm, you cannot do it. You must do review of literature on a very particular topic. Let's say, for example, left-wing extremism in tribal areas. You are asked to do a study. So how to do a review of literature on that? There is a technique. That technique also you should learn. If you don't know, you must ask your teacher. If your teachers do not know, ask somebody else through your contacts. But review of literature is an art in itself, which you must learn. Otherwise, you may get a job, but you will be put into the ditch for not knowing that. Friends, these are some of the things, I was not prepared. In fact, I was in a death ritual. So I came because, Sunita had invited me to interact with you. So I interacted with you. I do not know how much it has helped, but I can only tell you at the end, tribal research institutes are a great resource center in itself. Whether you apply for a job, do not apply for a job, if there's a TRI in close vicinity of your locality, maybe 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers away, try to visit those and try to see what are the repository they are having that looks at the repository will certainly enhance your confidence, competence, and urge to work in the field of anthropology. The very visit will give you a kind of vibe to probably look for a job and to get fitted into a job where anthropologist requirement is there. The kind of opportunities available, I have told you. And you have to prepare yourself. You have to look for the opportunities and insist with your teachers, even if you are doing your PhD or MPhil or MA, or you have already completed, to do an internship with a TRI. That will shape you. You might be knowing theory better than me, but that practical experience of working with the people, getting their nerves tested is very, very important. And various things which I said, you have to, use to equip yourself to look as a better product in the market, because this is market which you'll be entering into after you complete your studies. Look like a good commodity, behave like a good commodity, deliver like a good commodity. For that, enhancing your capacity, enhancing your competence is necessary. I have only told you few things. You have to delve more into it. What I have said is only tip of the iceberg. There are many more things which is not possible to be said in such a short time.